All right. It's episode 69 of the Wait for It Seattle podcast. I'm Kevin. We got Brian, and we got a special guest, Adam Jacobson from the Grand Salami Time. We'll introduce Adam in a little bit, but there's just a lot to go into. I mean, we had a crazy weekend of Seattle sports. We'll talk a little bit about the Huskies and the Seahawks. Both had very interesting games go down all the way to the fourth quarter with opposite results. But man, we have a special guest because we just have to talk about the Mariners. Brian and Adam. Brian, I know you were at the games. Were you at both games?
I was at both. That's the longest I've ever let you talk to intro an episode, by the way. I just wanted to see how it would go.
Yeah.
I was at both games. Yeah, I was at both games. I have thoughts about both crowds. I have thoughts about the sections I sit in or sat in. But
and Adam, were you at any of the games?
I went to the second game, so the one
you went to the second
nice
game.
job, Adam.
Yeah. So and then
yeah.
I watched both games from home, so I have the perspective of like the radio broadcast. I have the perspective of the horrible Fox television broadcast from pregame and postgame and during the game.
Do we have Rick Riz on the radio, or who is Goldie?
It's Rick Riz on the radio. Unfortunately, like they're trying to incorporate Aaron Goldsmith, but I don't know.
They gave him an inning. He was really good about it. He said he tweeted, I think, that they were generous to give him an inning so he could be a part of it, which is cool. Gary Hill and Rick Riz have good chemistry, and so and then Goldsmith and Hill are like really good buddies. Yeah, but I think the trio is probably awkward.
Yeah. So the other thing about it's just so weird to just go from Root Sports, just this intense crew that's been following the team, like not just this whole season, but like the past however many years, and then abruptly just go to
AJ Brzezinski. That's a tough one.
They're pretty bad. Yeah, they really like AJ Hinch. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
There were a couple things I read about AJ's performance that were not great.
It was pretty bad, but we don't need to talk about that.
No, let's talk about the good stuff. So let's start with this. Let's start with, I think the first thing that we have to talk about is Julio.
Yes.
I think what a cool couple days for Julio. It is not beyond my, I don't know, imagination is not the right word. It definitely entered into my thinking as I'm watching the game that aside from Edgar's double, like Junior's performance in the playoffs is so legendary in my mind. Adam, I've talked about this before, but I went to the 95 playoffs with my dad in the Kingdom, right field bleachers, up in actually 300 level, not even bleachers. Watched all those games. Griffey 5 home runs in 5 games, just epic performance. And Julio was made for the moment. That's what he looked like. He looked like he was ready to go. Adam, what do you think about Julio's performance the last 2 days?
Yeah, so basically that jack in game 1 was super clutch, gave us a good chance to win the game. Essentially, him and Cal Raleigh in the first game got the only hits for us, right? So,
yeah.
If anyone else came in the clutch at all, we would have won game 1. And then for game 2, being able to hit that double right after Cal hit the double won us the game, right? And obviously Polanco was the man in game 2, but Julio's in the first 2 games has been the man.
Yeah, totally.
So, awesome to see.
And they were talking about it in the post game, Jeter and David Ortiz, and these are 2 of the quintessential October players, at least in the past arguably in the past 25 years, right? And they're like, this dude was made for the moment. In the back of my head, he wasn't that great in 2022, right? In the 2022 playoff run, or at least I don't remember him being that good. I just have the constant
all you remember
strikeouts.
Is Adam Frazier. That's all you can remember.
And the strikeouts against the Astros, right? And not the clutch hits. And so there is an element of like, okay, I've been here before, and here's my second time around, and I'm just meant to be here. Mm-hmm. I want your guys' perspective on the actual crowd, because it was loud on the telecast.
Interesting.
Did it feel loud? Like, was that the one of the best feelings, like, as a Mariners fan that you've ever experienced? I mean, both of you are a little older than me, I'm assuming. So, what? Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Mariners games, right? Probably a lot of meaningless Mariners games compared to what you guys just saw. So, and that was last night. Like, has
Brian,
there ever been anything as good as that?
what's your thoughts? We went to both games, so
Yeah, so I thought the first game and the first inning and a half, 2 innings was absolutely electric, which didn't surprise me, right? So
Yeah.
everybody was up for Kirby pitching, and I think if I remember right, Cal got a hit in the first inning, and then Julio. Do I have it right? Anyway, I think they had 2 on in the first inning, and then Naylor or something like that. But the people were hyped. It was awesome. First game after the early run, that 6th, 7th inning, 8th inning really died down a little bit. Then I got hyped again in extra innings. My section was great. I was in like 339 to third baseline. People were standing. My expectation at a playoff game is anytime there's 2 strikes, everybody should be up, especially in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. So I got a little frustrated on Sunday. I was in the right field, the one where nobody sits normally, 308 up in right field. And
where the guy dances usually.
yeah, and I was begging people to get up. My wife was awesome. My wife was the number 1 person up. She's not even a huge baseball fan, but she loves, the moment. And she was like yelling at people to get up around us. It's the 8th inning. Brash is pitching before the error, and people are just sitting with 2 strikes. I'm like, there's 5 outs before beating Scooble in a playoff game. There's no other time for you to be up. Credit to Mariner fans. If you looked on the 100 level, everybody was up. So, you might think it'd be the opposite. The cheaper seats, people would be hyped. And I felt like actually in the 100 level, people were really up. So, Adam, I don't know, what was your impression on Sunday when you were there? Was it good around you?
I thought it was electric. I was
Awesome.
in 327, which was maybe a little closer to the first base side. There were people sitting down, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I think the majority of people were standing up with 2 strikes in the 8th inning and all that. And I feel like for half the game, people were standing. Even it felt like the entire game, like people were up and down depending on the moment. Whereas obviously a normal Mariner game, you never stand unless there's 2 strikes in the 9th or something with 2
Right.
games on the mound.
I would say, in fairness, nobody told us to sit down, right? So it wasn't, everybody was just okay with us standing.
Yeah,
So
like,
people kind of
afterwards.
knew they should have, maybe. It was so loud there on Polanco's homers, on Julio's homer the night before. Brash giving up the double, it was deafeningly silent when Torkelson got the double. But then when Julio got the hit, it was so cool. It was such a moment. It was great.
The stadium marketing and audio and team, whoever does all they did an amazing job.
They did, yeah.
Making sure the crowd was in it. Like the Randy chants, like everyone knew to say Randy because they go Randy.
Yeah,
Randy.
exactly.
The whole crowd would go, and it was awesome. It was organized.
I just gotta, because you guys are talking about guys sitting and standing. So there was some people upset watching the telecast because there's the view, right? When the view, you can see the people sitting behind home plate, and there's this one dude that's sitting down, but everyone else is standing up. And apparently this is like the Costco CEO who's sitting down.
Yeah.
But I was just watching it the whole telecast, and then at the very end with the 2 outs when Muniz was pitching, he stood up. So I was like, okay, this guy, and he has permission to sit down. He provides me with the $1.50 hot dogs.
$1.50 hot dogs.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and he's probably a staunch supporter of the Seattle Mariners and does everything in the community. So yes, I'm gonna lay off the one dude that's sitting behind home plate during the game.
Can I dive into a little bit of the baseball stuff,
yes,
other than the ambiance and the crowd? So my question would be, Adam and Kevin, what decision did you love that Dan Wilson made in the first 2 games? I'm going to go love first, then we're going to talk about which one frustrated us. If we had to pick one, What decision? He's a first-year manager. AJ Hinch has managed, I think it's 60-plus playoff games. So there's a clear disparity there in terms of experience. So what decision did you love that Dan Wilson made in the first 2 games?
I'd say like in the first game, I feel like he got a lot of attention for not making any necessarily strong decisions during the game. I think I wouldn't really say anything. He did anything out of the ordinary in the first game. Actually, didn't impress me. I honestly like that he kept Kirby in the game,
Oh,
even though
interesting.
people were upset about that, just because he was pitching so well, and there was I don't think there was any sign other than the fact the guy was like 4 for 8 in his career.
Well, that would be my counter, Adam, is that Kerry Carpenter had 4 home runs off Kirby and
Yeah,
third time through the lineup.
you got
And just in the playoffs, if you watch, for me, like when you watch experienced managers, even the Padres who were out, like they were bringing Robert Suarez in the 5th inning against the Cubs, their closer, because you just need a little bit different mentality. Maybe it's easy to say in retrospect, because I do agree with you that at the time I didn't really think about it. I'm like, Kirby's awesome right now, but I didn't know the numbers when I was sitting in the stands.
Yeah, I think that decision. I wouldn't really say, oh, he made a bad decision by keeping him in. Like, who would take him out in that moment? But yeah, he didn't make any good decisions game 1, like any strong decisions that were like, whoa, that was such a good idea. Game 2, I thought the JP Crawford drag bunt was like super cool to see, because I don't think anyone expected JP to try to bunt for the single. I wish he left. This is my bad. Like, I thought it was bad. It turned out okay. I was kind of upset that he took Luis Castillo out after he gave up his first hit in the 5th inning. It turned out great. Like, it didn't matter. But like, if I were like the manager, I was like, what is he doing taking Luis Castillo out?
I think he had maybe like 20 pitches left in him too. Yeah. And it was all about, and on the telecast, they were just saying the whole time, like, well, there's no way Dan Wilson was going to make like that mistake again. He was probably told from up high that like you had to pull, you couldn't let Carpenter, get another at bat against the starter.
Great.
I just wanted to transition, and I made this point on X. Like, the Castillo could have had a pissy attitude. Honestly, he was pitching pretty well to be pulled. Thankfully, you guys were there, that, got a standing O walking out. And then who replaced him? Who was the pitcher that replaced him?
They brought Inspire to face Carpenter, which is what he didn't do in game 1. So for me, that's the decision I loved, and it's the decision I hated in the first one.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that's what people are going to focus on, right? And this is the insane thing about playoff baseball. Like, we don't think of these micro decisions, but like everything is under a freaking microscope, man.
Absolutely.
And like, I don't know if I'm being too tough or if I'm like, I don't know, like, because you have to be, I think the thing that Dan Wilson said in his presser is like, you have to be more aggressive, but at what's the line? Right?
So it's funny you talk about aggression, because I actually thought, one of the things when you're at the game and you just watch like every pitch to a certain extent, right? Yeah. I thought they were so aggressive on the base paths stealing this year, and they did not go for it. Like, we had Randy on first a couple times. Julio was on first. Even Cal, who hasn't really been doing it lately, but they just didn't. In one of them in game 1, Naylor was up, I think, to end the game, and Julio was on first. I think Julio got a single off of Will Vest, and he didn't go. He didn't try to steal second. I'm like, that's the time you gotta go. Maybe they were playing for the 2-run homer, but so I think he's a little less aggressive right now, which is interesting.
Do you think they're like tense? Maybe it's like they're just, the playoffs is bringing up too much tension that they're kind of scared to make these.
They want to keep their up, they want to keep.
Yeah, I'm curious. There's a lot of talk this postseason. Managers have said it, that home runs win playoff games. Multiple experienced managers have just said it's too hard against all these dudes throwing 100 in the pen, or coming in and high leverage, and they get rest too, right? So think about all these relievers, right? They all have rest today. They get to go again. You could bring in starters. I mean, the Dodgers have freaking Roki Sasaki as their closer now. He's awesome. So it's really hard to score runs to string together a single, a double, and another single.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
maybe their philosophy is we're not running into outs in the postseason. We have guys who can hit homers. We're just gonna go for it.
I'm honestly fine with that. Like Suarez has been bad so far, hasn't really done anything of significance. But I'm okay. I mean, he came up after the Polanco home run. Was he batting after Polanco yesterday? I think he came
so,
up after, and he was just swinging.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, faster than the fans could sit down.
He was just swinging for the fences, right? Yeah. And they even said it on the telecast. They were like, he's thinking one thing. He's trying to hit this out of the park, which is kind of surprising to me because as a fan, I'm like, maybe, he's not going for a home run, right? Like
he looks like he is. He looks like he is.
The Tigers hitters though against our guys, the bullpen guys, the broadcasters were saying the same thing. Yep, he was trying to hit a home run on that. Yeah. That's like super obvious, and that's the only one good thing about these broadcasters is that you have Wainwright and Przinsky, so a pitcher and a catcher. Yeah. So they're just microanalyzing every at bat. And it kind of confirms like, oh yeah, these guys are swinging for the fences. They're just trying to play hero and end the game, right? That was what the Tigers were trying to do. And it's just a recipe for disaster against Mariners bullpen that I think has proven that they can get the job done. Now, if they can get it done, on the road, different story.
Well, it's interesting too, because the guys who aren't right now, I mean, Cal did have some swings where he was. But Cal has 5 hits in 2 games or something.
He's taking what they're giving him.
Yeah, and Julio too, and even Polanco's home runs. He's not trying to hit them. So those 3 guys are the hottest on the Mariners. And I felt like Naylor and Suarez especially, although I give Naylor a pass. He's having a kid. He's totally distracted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to say it. I think he's totally distracted. I hope his kid's born tonight and he's in Detroit tomorrow. That's my hope.
I don't know. You think if a kid's born tonight, he'll be at the game tomorrow?
Heck yeah. I mean, that's what I hope my wife doesn't listen to this, but that's what I would be doing. Who do we think the hero is if we can't pick Julio, Cal, or Polanco? Who's the hero of the first 2 games? If you have to pick somebody.
I mean, I'll go first. I'll just say Luis Castillo obviously would be for me like the choice. Although you could choose like the whole pitching staff's been awesome, but I'd say Luis Castillo. I would say Kirby too if he won game 1, but I thought he pitched just as well. But yeah, Castillo for me.
My guy's Munoz, man, just coming off of a perfect inning in the game 1, or 2 perfect innings in game 1, and then come back and close this out and secure the victory. Big, and they were kissing up to who had the last at bat against Munoz. This is what they were talking about on the post game.
Parker Meadows.
Which is the 9th hitter. And I was just like, why is Derek Jeter talking about Parker Meadows as at bat? This is the first thing they're thinking of. I mean, granted, it was the last at bat, but this is what their first 5 minutes of the post game was them talking about what a great at bat. I was like, dude, he got out. The Mariners won. What are we talking about? So anyways,
I think mine would be, if I can't pick either of those are both really good. There's not a lot of hitter choices, right? Once I took those 3 out. So I would go with Spire. So because I thought both games he was phenomenal. Spire was awesome. Yeah. Bizzardo was also good. So you could go with anybody in the bullpen, which to Kev's point, they're gonna have to continue. If we could just end maybe with a little game 3, game 4, but I would probably just focus on game 3 to begin with. This will come out as people are getting ready to watch game 3, which will be in the middle of the day.
Can I go on a rant about this really quickly?
Sure can, buddy. Sure can.
The NBA does not schedule their playoff games at 1:00 in the afternoon.
That's true.
The NFL is on the weekend. College football, their biggest bowl games are on the weekend, or if it's on a weekday, it's at night. The closest I got to this was the NCAA tournament, but there's 500 games, so they have to have some games in the day during the day. Why is Major League Baseball doing this? Why are they doing this for the TV? It doesn't make any sense. If you want better TV ratings, Put it on in the evening time. Who cares if you have two games going on at the same time or if they're crossing over? Like, you're still going to get more people to watch those games. Like, I'm a Mariners fan. I can't watch the game at 1 o'clock in the middle of a work day.
Then you're not a Mariners fan, Kev.
Yeah, obviously.
I
Yeah.
I watched one of the wild card games during the day, and it was the worst. It was one of the worst broadcasts I've ever seen. I feel like they gave they don't even for a playoff game, they're not even giving their A or B team.
Right.
They're giving their C and D.
Yeah.
What is this?
It makes no sense to me. It's so stupid, and people wonder why more people watch the NFL and the NBA. Well, it's because they have time to watch it. It's not at 1 o'clock in the middle of the day or 4 o'clock. Even if it was 4 o'clock on the East Coast, that's still hella early. People work 9 to 5 jobs. Sorry.
Yeah, they want the eyeballs on the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Obviously, they think they're gonna get. I mean, the wild card round had great ratings, so whatever they were doing, maybe it does work. Yeah. We'll see what these ratings are, because maybe the Yankees Blue Jays, it pays off for them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but anyway, I will be watching because I'm a teacher, Adam, and my teaching load is done at 10:50 tomorrow morning, so I will be ready to roll.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to put it on the TV.
No, but there will be people at our school that will do it, or students will just be, who knows? They all have Microsoft Surfaces, so I can't imagine that they're going to be focusing in class.
You must be teaching at a nice school.
It's a nice high school. Yeah. We produce great alums like Kevin. Flaherty versus Gilbert. Seattle is favored, actually. Vegas odds -130 right now. Kind of makes sense. I mean, Gilbert's a better pitcher than Flaherty. I'm a little worried about Gilbert's stats against the Tigers, which I looked up this evening. They all hit him quite well. So that makes me worried. Robles is 3 for 10, Randy 3 for 8, JP 3 for 7 against Flaherty. Cal and Julio are each 1 for 7. Gino, because he was in the National League, has 25 at bats in 3 home runs against Flaherty. So that's kind of interesting to watch. I could see this going either way. Either we're going to score 6 runs off him. I mean, it won't get to that point. They'll pull him if they need to. Or he's going to go 7 shutout. He's just going to be awesome. I don't know. Which way would you guys lean? Are you feeling optimistic?
I'm feeling like it's going to be another tight game, man. Especially with it being on the road in Detroit. It's just so hard. I mean, I just came off watching 2 very close games. It's just hard for me.
It's hard to imagine something else. Yeah.
Something where the run differential is more than 2 to 3 runs. I just don't see. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
These games.
Adam, what do you think?
These are so good.
I mean, we have to win Game 3. I think Game 4 is a tougher matchup.
I'm so with you. Yeah.
Game 3 with Gilbert on the mound is probably the game for us to win on the road. Unfortunately, Gilbert's ERA is close to 5 on the road, so the matchup's a lot closer than we think. I think in terms of Flaherty versus Logan Gilbert, just he's so much better at home, Gilbert, than he is on the road. And I was gonna say we haven't really seen Randy or Rosarina step up yet, and I think that's the spark potentially that would get us over the line in Game 3.
By the way, I'm plugging the article.
There we go.
Plugging the article on SeatownSports.com. We got a guest article from Adam on Randy Rosarina's playoff performance. I thought it was a fascinating read, comparing him to Reggie Jackson and some other October greats. But Rosarina's up there. And I think we kind of forget about it because the 2020 was during COVID. Where
I don't forget. I watched because I think it was COVID. I watched all those games, and Randy was amazing. And that's when I first was like, this guy's great.
As a rookie.
It was so cool. I have a distinct memory at my parents' house, watching a lot of those games because they're the 5 people we could see, right? And Randy was awesome.
So anyways, SeatownSports.com, you can read the article by Adam. We're grateful for him for allowing us to cross-post it, and it was a great article.
Yep, and go visit Grand Salami Time and go see more Adam's stuff. And Adam, we're hoping we can have you on maybe in the future. And if this run goes for a while, we might just have to keep having you on for a second.
We got the superstitions.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So next time this is kind of sad, Brian, but next time we all meet, will either be a very sad
obituary for the season.
It'll be All right, we can't record on Sunday because I'm going to be at game 1 of the ALCS.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
dude.
I know. We might. I did have a listener say you guys should be doing emergency pods. I don't know what you guys are doing, which I took as a compliment. That's good.
Yeah,
they want to hear
they
our
want to
voices.
listen to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You got to do it at the game. You're just, hey,
Oh my
we're
gosh, yeah.
no.
Also, Game 5, if the Yankees Blue Jays go 5 also, which it doesn't look like it will, but you never know. Game 5 in Seattle will be on a Friday at 1:00. It's terrible.
I'm gonna have to sell those ALCS tickets
awful.
if game 1's on Friday. Like,
no, that's game 5 of ALDS. Game 5, a crucial game, would be at 1 p.m. Pacific on a Friday. Come on, what are we doing? So, that for multiple reasons, we're rooting for the Blue Jays, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Adam. We appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right. It was fun, Kev, to talk to somebody else about the Mariners. Not that I don't love talking to you, but to get a different perspective, different view of Dan Wilson. You know, as I told Adam, don't necessarily agree, but that's okay. That's what's fun about being Mariners fans and having playoff baseball to talk about.
Yeah, dude, it's just excruciating to watch. Like, I don't know if I enjoy it. It's just such an extreme because there's so many games. And so you have games on in the background. You have games on, you listen on the radio. Sometimes you turn on the Apple TV. You get the Apple TV broadcast. Usually it's just Root Sports and it's just on in the background. And then we talk about it. And then the season is, the season goes and we talk about trades and we talk about win streaks and losing streaks. And now it's like every at bat, every pitch, every like runner left on base, every bullpen decision, like it's just so much. And then combine that with like the kind of like the pace of it where you're like waiting, right? NBA and college football is probably, and NFL is probably like the closest where there's like a break between the plays, but not like the amount of it happening over and over and over again during a baseball game.
You know, it's funny. I didn't talk about this earlier. We're going to talk about kind of the atmosphere and different things. Here's a couple things that are interesting in stadium. Number one, no local ads, all national ads. So the hydroplane race that they put on the Jumbotron that everybody can, I'm sure, imagine because they've been to a game is usually like Oh Boy Oberto and local companies. No logos on the hydroplane race. And that's not even televised. It's crazy. But it's like Budweiser, it's all the national broadcasting stuff because it's such a big thing in the postseason.
I think it's also probably a contractual thing.
No, totally. Yeah.
So then they brokered those local deals. And then they're like, when it gets to the playoffs, you have to pay this much if we ever make it to the playoffs.
I don't even think, I would guess based on what it was, Major League Baseball doesn't even let them do it.
Yeah,
it's the Major League Baseball one.
Yeah.
But the second part that's more interesting to what you were talking about is the breaks and innings are longer. So I didn't realize it. They're 3 minutes instead of 2, and it throws off the players. When you're at the game, you can see it. They have the pitch clock that says 3 minutes down, and then they're used to a certain rhythm. And there were multiple times guys were up at the plate with 59 seconds on that clock, and the pitcher's on the mound, and the ump's like, "You gotta wait."
It's like the dude that sits on the field during
the Orange X guy with the exactly.
They're holding up like the time that's left with the commercials.
But they make the home plate ump do it. It's like, where's the guy with the orange gloves? Can't we have one in baseball? Again, baseball belonging with the broadcast.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of orange gloves in football, though, Kev, I will say this: I thought it was an awesomely entertaining weekend in Seattle sports, regardless of outcomes. So let's talk about the outcome that you will be more happy with.
Yeah.
Your Washington Huskies.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of it live because I was doing something that day, but I went home and I actually listened to it live, which was great.
Yeah.
I will say Cam Cleveland and color commentary, along with Tony, were really, really good. They were pointing out things like Fleming, who I think is a tight end for them. I thought he was a receiver at first, but I think he's a tight end, was just torching the Huskies secondary.
Yeah.
And they were talking about not rolling coverage and they were frustrated. You could tell they were frustrated by it. It was really good. Something you don't get on a Big Ten broadcast because they're not really focused on one side or the other, right?
Yeah.
You get it with really good analysts, but not the ones that do the Washington Maryland game. So I thought that was awesome. Then I got home and I just rewatched the fourth quarter. And I know you did when you were sad about the Mariners too. You rewatched the fourth quarter. So I'm going to do a confidence-o-meter for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can go 0 to 10. 0 being I have zero confidence, and 10 being I'm ready to run through a wall, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different categories based on the results of this game. Now the Huskies are 4-1. They finally won a road game in the Big Ten. So with that said, what's your confidence-o-meter in Jedfish?
7. It would have been like 3 if they lost that game.
Oh, well, okay.
But this is kind of the issue that you've so astutely put forth. And it was like, can he win? It's related. It's not the same issue, but it's like, can he win a big game? And it's more like, can they win a game they really weren't supposed to win? And I think it was supposed to be the Huskies were favored, right? And so technically they were supposed to win the game and they did. But the issue with this was that like I thought it was just over. I think everyone thought it was over. Like in the first half, like nothing was going their way. They had no momentum, and it just seemed like Maryland was just a better team and that the Huskies couldn't catch a break. And it was just another one of those horrible games that they had so many of last season.
Sad.
And that didn't happen. They like came back and won the game, like down 20-3. That was the biggest comeback since their 2018
Utah
game against Utah.
I think it's 2020.
2020.
Yeah, they've only had they were down 20-0 in this game, and they've only had 7 games in the history of Husky football where they've come back from 20 points or more. And that was the most recent. Yeah.
Yeah. And for your players to do that, and I actually encourage you to watch the cinematic recap that the Huskies put out. But they have like clips of them in the halftime locker room, and they're like they're like, we're in it. Fish is saying like, calm down. We're still in it. Just get stops.
Maybe that's why you have a 7 for him.
Yeah. Get stops and get scores. And that's kind of what it was. It finally clicked in the fourth quarter. They got stops and they got scores. And it was a very simple message. And no one in that locker room stopped believing that they could win that game.
Okay, right? Let's project forward. I'm not going to give you my Fish number. It's probably not as high as yours. I don't know where it is. Yeah. I'm higher on him this year than last year. It's not just because they're 4-1. I actually think Maryland might be sneaky good.
Yeah.
They have some dudes.
Their defense was good. I mean, if their guy didn't get ejected, I think they had like a freshman edge rusher that was like kind of one of the top in the country, and he got like hit for targeting in the first half and got kicked out. Game result might have been different.
Well, the game result's different too if their dude doesn't drop the pass on an absolute dime from Malik Washington. Yeah. Like just a great pass.
And that dude is good too. Imagine he's good. Sophomore. Yeah.
Okay. Team on the season. What's your confidence-o-meter?
Team on the season.
Like for rest of the season, looking forward.
Yeah. I'm probably at a 7 still. Like, although the schedule is now like kind of weird after some more results, right? Like UCLA is a wild card now. Like UCLA on the road, like if they're beating Penn State.
UCLA.
Yeah,
what?
But then relatedly, like Oregon, who barely escaped Penn State, like is Oregon good enough? Like
Oregon's really good.
Okay.
I think they're really good.
Okay, so we can't do the transitive property.
No, I don't think it works on this one.
Okay.
But I think UCLA now is not.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's always a boost. Well, 2 things. There's always a boost the week you fire a coach who nobody likes.
Yeah.
So I would never have guessed the boost is big enough to beat Penn State. So UCLA is not that good, but also they're not as bad as they were to start the year.
They're definitely good enough to beat the Huskies at home, right? Yeah. So that's a question mark. Indiana's going to be like...
Well, we don't play Indiana. So
we don't play Indiana.
No. Sorry. We got Oregon, UCLA,
we got Illinois,
Purdue, Wisconsin. Don't know what to do with them. Illinois, Michigan. Honestly, the next 3 are big, but I'm going to get to the next game in a second. So you said 7. How about DeMond? What's your confidence-o-meter in DeMond?
Yeah, I'm at like a 8 with him.
Yeah,
I
baby.
kind of love how he played bad. Like we haven't seen him play like his numbers were actually not that bad against Ohio State. Like they just couldn't get it was kind of one of those classic like couldn't punch it in, things were stalling, but his numbers overall weren't horrible. Like his numbers were really bad in that first half.
Right.
And then he just turned it on. And when after rewatching it, I was like, Will Rogers could have never engineered this. Like he could have
Can
never
I tell you
done that
something about
last
Will
year.
Rogers? This
Yeah.
won't surprise you. Damon already is like 100 yards away from passing Will Rogers in total yards in Husky history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really that surprising. He wasn't the quarterback that long, but
Yeah. Also, Williams had the benefit of appearing in all those games last year, too.
yeah, I don't know. Something about it made me laugh. So Damon was 18 of 22 for 205 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good in the second half. I'm like
Yeah.
Kev, I'm at a 9.
The great thing is he hasn't figured it out. Like I still don't think he knows
That's
when
part
to
of why I'm at
truly,
a 9.
run and when to pass. And
Yeah.
it's still like it's okay. Like he'll figure it out. But right now he doesn't have it figured out and he's doing great.
Yeah.
Right. And
Okay.
he can do even better. So that's exciting.
How about the defense, just in general?
Ooh. They're so beat up. I'm like at a 4.
They are beat up, yeah.
And I'm like, they don't have an identity. And it's kind of Belichick's defense, you knew, could just tighten up and not give up like touchdowns, and their numbers showed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And this defense is like, I get it. It's like you're not giving up explosive. So in a way, it is successful. But also, if you have a team, now it's 2 games in a row where you've had teams just kind of carve you up. Death by 1,007-yard passes, 6-yard passes. Like it's happened.
Yeah,
2 games in a row.
they're scouting it, right? So somebody's scouting that, it feels like.
Yeah, and teams are going to just sit, and kind of like the downside of it is your defense is going to be on the field for a long time. And it's happened where, we only the amount of possessions your offense got because you allowed that to happen, right? Like you do have to take some risks, and it sucks that you don't have your number 1 defensive back. Like hopefully he comes back, but I don't think he comes back this week. And then now
I hope he does. I mean, they really need him at this point, honestly. God.
Yeah. And then the guy on the interior, the guys are playing they're playing good, but they're not playing exceptionally well. They're not difference makers. Like I look at the defense, there's no playmakers. I did an interview with the Maryland 24/7 Inside MD Sports, and they asked me like what's up with their defense, and I was like, they don't really have playmakers.
You're talking about the
Alex
Huskies,
McLaughlin,
right?
Yeah. Alex McLaughlin's probably the closest to a playmaker, but that's a transfer from a FCS school. I mean, that good for McLaughlin, but like he can't just be the only playmaker.
No, you're right. The hype was, or the hope, not the hype.
Yeah,
was edge rushers and corners at the start of the year, don't you think? Yeah. And isn't one of the, it so much better than I do. Is Durfee the one he's out, right?
Yeah, he was injured.
So, and he was, I mean, I know it was a comeback, but, and then obviously Takario Davis is out. So the Huskies, if you go on PFF and go in the Big Ten, they're 14th out of 18 in defensive rating. Run defense, they're 14 out of 18. Tackling, they're actually 8th. Good for them. Pass rush, they're 11th out of 18. Coverage, they're 12th out of 18. So defensively, yeah, they're just not there. In contrast, offensively, they're actually 11th, but their rating is much higher. And I'm guessing if we looked at running, they're number 1 in the Big 12 from PFF's rating for running game. So, and that includes Damon, but obviously Jonah Coleman's amazing. But I'm not going to ask you about Jonah today. My last one for you on the confidence-o-meter is, of course, we're playing Rutgers on a Friday. And, of course, this Mariners could be playing the Tigers at 1:00 in a game 5. So you might have some double dippers again, as people did with the Seahawks. What's your confidence in the Huskies getting a W on Friday against Rutgers at home?
I actually feel pretty great.
No Kyle Monungai this time.
Yeah, it's a home game. Although we got the Greek rifle.
The Greek rifleman's back, baby.
Yeah. I'm probably at like an 8 for the Huskies to win this. I think they're a good team. You went from playing the number one team at home, huge emotional game. Then you go on the road. Then this is kind of another weird game because it's on Friday on a short week, but Rutgers is coming off of a bye.
But they have to come west this time, right?
Yeah.
That was a big deal last year.
Yeah.
I knew so much more about the teams last year when we were like trading off on previews, and I remember us saying Kyle Monunga is good. We podcasted it, talked about it. He's playing for the Bears. We're really good at this. I don't know why people can't just like recognize that. Yeah. And the Greek Rifleman, Kev, by PFF scores, Rutgers is 5th in passing this year in the Big 10. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, and they don't really have to have explosives. So like I think the blueprint against the Husky defense is going to play conservative, and these teams are going to eat up clock and try to keep it close. Because if you get otherwise, it turns into a track meet, and like Damon Williams is throwing bombs and ripping off 20-yard runs. Like, why just keep them off the field and kill clock? And
Kev,
all of a sudden it's 14-0.
Greek Rifleman, whatever his name is, Kalakamanis, threw for 330 yards against Iowa. What is happening?
Iowa, yeah.
God, that made you so tired you yawned. Rutgers is last in the Big 10 in defense. That right there tells me I'm at like a 7.
Are you at like a 9?
No, 7 because of Jedfish. Okay.
It's not going to be like a sold out game either because it's just a Friday night. Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the students should be okay.
Yeah.
But it's also Rutgers. Like, it doesn't get people hyped.
It gives me like the eerie, like Pac-12 after dark vibes type of game, though, where weird things will happen because it's on a Friday. And
yeah. Dude, if this guy throws for 350 on us, I'm going to be so mad. And if the Mariners lose in Game 5 to Scoobel and I go home to watch the Huskies and then he throws for 350.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, if the Seahawks also.
If Trevor Lawrence throws for 350.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do.
Will you do the opposite to me? Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So same confidence meter. You put together a list. I'm going to give you the credit for putting together our show.
You don't have to do that, Kev. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We work together, Kev.
I love it.
Put
you're
that
just
on.
like
Put that
you're
on.
like Luis Castillo throwing up the thing after he got pulled, the rock symbol.
Yeah. Dana said to me in the crowd, she goes, they were telling the crowd to do their best version of it for the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And she was like, what is it? Show me what it is. And I was like this. Oh, and she was all in. And then she was doing left. She's like, no, he's not left-handed. He's right. Dana was the fan of the game. I'm going to tell you right now. She was awesome. She was hyping up everybody around her.
Shout out to Dana.
She rocked different jerseys on different days. She was ready to roll. She was so pumped. She's yelling for Luis, yelling for Victor Robles, everybody.
We got to meet if they make it to the ALCS. We got to meet up, get a picture, because it might not happen for another 20 years.
That's true. All right, Seahawks game Sunday. Real quick before we get in the confidence-o-meter. Was awesome. I watched the whole thing. It ended right before I left to go to the Mariners game, which was kind of cool.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
I ended up getting a parking spot, which was a huge deal also. I think I talked about this on the podcast. My secret lot that's very far away, close to the West Seattle Bridge, there was a spot left. More people had found it, but it is really, really far. But the Lime scooters were available. It was great. No, I didn't pay for parking either day. Playoff game. Come on. That's a major victory.
Love it.
My dad would be so proud.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Great.
Losing 38-35 to the Bucs, where Darnold and Mayfield were both just slinging the rock.
Yeah.
It was such a fun game to watch. And the retro jerseys, oh my God. It was amazing. So
they were great. So what's your confidence meter? Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald first. It's still really high. So I'm just a McDonald guy. Part of it is he took so much accountability for losing that game. And I don't think he did it in a self-serving way where he's like, the guys will like me more if I do this. I think he really is mad at himself for whatever decisions he's mad at.
Yeah.
He went on the radio and talked about it. And so he's like an 8 for me. The crazy one, so they're 28-28 in the game, and there's fourth quarter, and they went for it on 4th and 2 instead of kicking the field goal. It's exact scenario, except for it's 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 1 that the Seahawks faced against the Niners in week 1. They kicked the field goal. Niners went down, scored a touchdown. Seahawks lost. This time, he was totally right. The play was awful. Darnold made an amazing scramble and hit Horton for a touchdown. The Bucs went down in like a minute and 10 and scored to tie it. So McDonald was totally right. They were ravaged by injuries in this game. They're playing Woolen's out, Love is out, Witherspoon's out. So they're playing Nehemiah Pritchett at corner. They're playing Ty Okada at safety. Like, these are guys who were like borderline practice squad dudes trying to defend Chris Godwin and Ibuka and Baker Mayfield. Yeah. So I don't put that on McDonald. He's an 8 for me.
Yeah. I do think that it's still early on the season. I'm a little concerned that the defense gave up that many points, but like, let's just transition into, I know we have, let's transition into defense. I mean, they gave up how many points to the Bucs. And it's a lot of points at home, right? For a defense that's supposed to be your strength.
Yep. The Bucs are really good, I think. Better than maybe like Super Bowl contender, maybe good, right? Baker Mayfield's awesome. But
he was he was coming out of the pocket throwing.
Dude, his throws passes, like across his body.
Jump passes.
And they're talking about like, and they're right. Like, he's swiveling his hips to throw, going left to back to right. So he's not like throwing it across his body and getting away with it. Like, he's throwing absolute dimes. He's really, really good. And they didn't even have all their dudes. Like Mike Evans didn't play. They're good.
Can you believe both him and Darnold were on the Panthers at the same time?
That's awesome. I'm trying to look up the Seahawks defensively. PFF, they're still 10th overall.
Yeah.
Certainly injuries are hitting everybody. Scores are kind of up and results are kind of weird. It's a long way of me saying, if they're injured, my confidence is like a 3. Yeah. Right. But if Love and Witherspoon in particular come back, my confidence goes back up to like a 7 for the defense right now.
Yeah.
Really disappointed. Ernest Jones, I think, is really good. His PFF score, which is usually pretty indicative of like how you played. I mean, he was the worst defender on the team this week.
Interesting.
And so that's problematic, obviously. And the Jaguars are good. So that worries me this week. I think they have a good offense. They have a good coach. I don't know.
Before we get to the Jaguars matchup, Darnold, where are you at? I know where I'm at on Darnold.
Dude.
We found our quarterback.
Dude, I'm like is a 9 too high?
No, but here's the thing. We never have to compare him to Geno Smith ever again. I think that book's been closed.
That book is closed. Darnold looks the part. The throws he makes are just the throw he made to Jackson Smith-Njigba before halftime for a touchdown. I mean, Russ was different. Russ is the best quarterback in franchise history. I'm not trying to put them on the same. It's just Darnold looks like, you said it right. I'm saying all these extra words for no reason. What did you say? We found our answer.
We found our quarterback.
We found our quarterback. We did.
Yeah.
We found our quarterback.
Yeah. He's the dude.
Yeah. By the way, the Jaguars beat the Chiefs tonight. So the Jaguars are 4-1 coming into Seattle. So why don't we just go to that one?
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks, are going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Which makes it almost worse, maybe.
Can you do the little, whatchamacallit, the Duval thing?
Duval?
Have you ever been to Duval, Washington?
Of course. Yeah, that's where we got in a bus accident my senior year of high school.
That's kind of sad.
The prep bus. We almost went off a ravine and died. I'll tell that story a different time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm here looking at the fact that I lost a fantasy football game by 0.5.
Oh, I'll tell you what's worse, Kev.
Brutal.
Almost going off a ravine and dying on a bus. Yeah. I think, the Seahawks are going to Jacksonville, so 10 a.m. start.
That's a tough game.
That is tough. I mean, interestingly, ESPN's matchup predictor, I'm just pulling it up now. It's like almost exactly 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of, with the injuries, I'm kind of a 5, like right in the middle. I don't feel that confident about the Seahawks this week in that game.
Will you be supremely disappointed if they lose?
No, I think what sucks is to lose. My hope was kind of split Bucs and Jags because that sets you up for a really good year. Obviously, if they lose, all of a sudden they're 3-3. Then they go into a Monday night game against Houston. Then they go at Washington. Like, it's just not that easy right now.
Yeah.
Arizona at home, at Rams, at Titans is nice. Vikings at home doesn't look as bad. So anyway, they have an interesting schedule. This is kind of the tough stretch, I think. And the Jags are just better than we thought. And the Texans looked bad, but then they absolutely crushed the Ravens. So it's an interesting stretch. To note, just for fun, for people looking ahead, that Texans game after this week is a Monday night, and then Washington the week after is a Sunday night. So that's 2 straight prime times for the Seahawks, which is pretty fun.
Nice. People can watch it, unlike a 1 o'clock.
They might be. I mean, let's cross our fingers. They're in conflict with the ALCS or something, or I won't even say the next step.
Yeah. Top 5?
Yeah, Kev, do you have one?
I don't have one.
Okay, Kev,
I don't have one.
This is going to upset our viewers, but can we skip top 5 for time, and can we just do a quick instead? You know what? Here's a top 5. I got one.
Oh, you got one?
Let's do just a quick top 5 other things because we have so much football and baseball to talk about. Yeah. Just a quick rundown, and of 5 things to look forward to in Seattle sports. How about that?
I like that.
Okay. So number 1, your Seattle Sounders beat the Timbers 1-0 last week during the game
last weekend,
like 3 days ago.
3 days ago. So my main question was like, could they hear the Mariners game happening?
We couldn't hear anything in the Sounders, but
they definitely could hear the Mariners then. Do you know the capacity? Sorry, I'm just going completely off the rails here.
No, you're fine.
You know the capacities of a Sounders match? Because I know they close off the top bowl, and then like how many Mariners?
Mariners is 47,000, just over 47.
Like
I know that.
I mean, it's loud, right? And my comparison point is Husky Stadium, which is like around 70,000.
There were 32,000 people at the Sounders game. It says on Sounder and Heart. Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Here's my takeaway from that. First of all,
that was Saturday night.
There's 2 parts. One, the Sounders now in 15 years. I love this fact. This is so good. Timbers and Sounders have played in the MLS for 15 years together. Okay. This will be the 12th out of 15 years the Sounders finish above the Timbers in the standings. Suck it, Portland. Okay. Now, second part, the Sounders are really close to the playoffs. The MLS playoffs are coming, and they're slated to go against LAFC in the best of 3, which is gross. LAFC is really good and really good against the Sounders. So we have that to look forward to. We'll talk about that in a future podcast. Okay, number 2, things to look forward to. Ready?
I'm ready.
The Seattle Reign tied Gotham 0-0. Thank God I didn't watch it. Who wants to watch a 0-0 soccer game? But the Reign are 4th in the standings. Okay. They are 1 point out of 3rd behind Gotham. And here's my takeaway. They actually have a really weird schedule. They play the next 2 Fridays. Same time the Huskies are playing, the Reign play at home. Crazy.
Wait, could the Mariners play on Friday?
The Mariners play on Friday, and they would play at 1 or 4. The Reign play at 7:30.
Could you imagine the Huskies?
And the Huskies play what at 6?
7?
Yeah. So I have Reign tickets. Depending on what's happening with the Mariners, I may or may not be at that game. So I might walk across the street. Who knows?
Just go to both games.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if the Mariners play at 4, I'll walk across the street and just go to the Reign game because I already have the ticket. Anyway, the Reign, the key takeaway is Kansas City's in first place, Kev, and they are really, really good. Like, you don't want to face them in the playoffs. So the Reign really need to do some work in their last 3 regular season matches to get 3rd, because then you're in that bracket with the 2nd seed instead of the 1 seed. There you go. So pay attention to what's happening with the Reign. Of course, they have a stupid schedule where they play this Friday, the following Friday, and then they don't play until November 2nd. I don't know what NWSL is doing. It's probably some stupid soccer international break, but it's stupid. Okay. Number 3, ready?
Yes.
I don't even know if you know this. Do you know this? Do you know what starts this week? Yeah. Do you know what starts this week?
Kraken.
The Kraken have their first game on Thursday. They open the season. I'm really excited. It's a Mariner
where's
off
your
day.
season preview?
It's oh my God, I don't have the capacity. It's a Mariner off day. I'm really excited because I just like hockey. I have not paid attention. The Mariners have sucked me in to the point, and the Huskies and Seahawks have been good, right?
You only have so much
only so much capacity, and
so much
I have
bandwidth.
not I got to read some stuff, but I do have for number 4 of our top 5 things to look forward to right now. Berkeley Catton, who I've talked about on this podcast, he's 19 years old. He made the roster.
Oh, there you go.
He's the number 1 prospect in the organization. That's enough to watch the Kraken. I don't know if he'll be in the lineup on Thursday, but why would you keep a 19-year-old if you're not going to play him, right? Like,
if I'm a Seattle Times writer, I'm writing a profile, a day in the life of Berkeley Catton and a day in the life of Dominic Malonga, the 2 teenage phenoms that could be
like that. Maybe a Substack writer should do that, named Kevin Pavlovelis. Okay. And number 5 is, it's not that long until Husky basketball, Kev.
Dude, I know they're doing press conferences. Abdul Ghadi got promoted to assistant coach.
He did.
They're hosting 5-star recruits. It's happening.
October 19th, I think, is when they play a home game. That's
dude,
crazy.
I know. I only know this because I secured my Santa Clara basketball season tickets, and I'm like, whoa, the season starts, right? Like,
Kevin, when's their first one?
I think
I thought you would know.
I need to pull. They play a horrible exhibition game. It's like, think of like the worst UW exhibition games. Like Santa Clara exhibition games are probably. This is great content. I'm gonna pull up the schedule.
Whoa! Don't be out here slamming Santa Clara basketball. You know they're retiring Jalen Williams'
first
jersey.
Game is November. Yeah, their first game is against Cal Poly Humboldt. Not Cal Poly. Cal Poly Humboldt.
That is rough. Yeah.
November. They're Division 2. Yeah. November 4th. And then
so the Huskies' first one is going
to be a hard adjustment.
This is weird. The Huskies' first one is an exhibition against UNLV. Like, they're playing UNLV in an exhibition game. That's just weird to me. Anyway,
to me, that's like
the 5th thing to look forward to.
That's no longer a scrimmage, but they're playing it as an exhibition.
Right, that's exactly. I think you can go to it. Anyway, it's not that far away. So we gave the people a top 5 of things to look forward to.
There's so much going on when there's Mariners playoffs. There's just like too many sports going on.
Yep.
How is one supposed to have a podcast? I guess we just have to talk about the Mariners. It's a great time to be alive.
We're sticking with the Mariners. Kev, there's no way you'll agree to this, but we might need to do an emergency pod on Thursday if they're going to a game 5.
We might. Oh my God, they're playing. Man, me and Christine's anniversary's dinner's on Friday night. What are we going to do? I'm screwed.
Okay. Well, good luck to you and good luck to the Mariners.
Go Mariners.